was it like, Lou, when you came back to Detroit after your service, after the war? How were veterans treated? How were you treated? What do you remember?
Veterans were treated greatly. Unlike future veterans, we were well treated. Most of us wanted to find a job. And at that time, the jobs were scarce because they stopped production. Ford stopped production, the war's over. And housing was very scarce. You had to look around to find an apartment. Sometimes you had to pay a little money under the table to find an apartment. And it was the end of rationing. No, you couldn't buy a car because you had to get on the list. But we were treated well. Fortunately, I went back to school for a year. We had the GI Bill. For every year that you served, you got a free education for 1 year. I finished up pharmacy school, got married, and life went on. But I remember the first thing I wanted when I get out of the Army was to get a suit that wasn't khaki. Hughes and Hatchers.
Now, after you had the additional schooling for being a pharmacist, did you operate your own pharmacy?
No, went to work for Cunningham for a while.
Shapiro, right?
Yeah, yeah. Cunningham Drugstore. They should still be in business. Poorly run. I worked for them 2-3 years. Then I bought a store on the east side. Stayed there 10 years. Then was my favorite. I went to work at Hammerstein Drugstore in Oak Park. That's an old 9 Mile and Coolidge. Oak Park was a great city.
And the kinds of prescriptions that you were writing then compared to what people get today, pretty much the same? The same aches and pains?
The illnesses are mostly the same, but the medication has changed. I used to know my customers by name and the meds they were on. You go get a prescription today, you speak to a computer. The pharmacist doesn't have time to speak to you. He's too busy. It's a fast world.
What do you see today that's different from your experience?
It's a different world. We're in a divided country. During World War II, the reason we won, we were united. We had a cause, and we all sacrificed something. We even used to save the empty toothbrush container for aluminum, pots and pans. You had an extra pot and pan, you would donate it. We worked together. Everybody worked together. Today, it's Republican and Democrat, a divided country.
One final question that I have for you. If you were thinking about this interview that we're doing now and realize that what we're capturing is something that 50 years from now, 100 years from now, God willing more, people may be watching and listening to this interview. Is there one thing you would want them to take away from it, to remember as it relates to either your service for our country, the United States itself, what words of wisdom that you would have, that you would want ideally 100 years?
This is the best country in the world. Enjoy it.